Hello guys, so in this video, I'm going to talk to you about what you should get when you first purchase your machine, whether it's the K as you see right here, or the SD501, the Super SD501, or the Junior, and so on forth. Whichever machine from Enagic you purchase, you're going to want to purchase, you're going to want to get all the accessories and so on forth, but I'll talk each thing you see here independently. Now, first, all I gotta say is when you first get your machine, definitely get these purple Enagic water bottles. So that way, when you walk around in public, wherever it is you go, and someone sees you drinking this Enagic water and so on forth, and they look at the label and they ask you what is Enagic, and you explain everything it is you know about Enagic and so on forth, and that's how you can get some business, right? To share the water and to get a referral too, and so on forth. And also too, another big thing too with these purple water bottles is that when you go through airport security, you have this purple bottle of water, and since this is Enagic Kangen water labeled, you tell the security, because usually security does not allow you to have water bottles or soda or other sports drinks to go through security and all this and that. But if you have your Enagic Kangen water in these bottles and you tell the security that, you need to have this medical grade water and so on forth, they'll just do a simple test and give it back to you and tell you you're good to go and so on forth. You do not need to provide them any medical paperwork stating that you need this water and so on forth. And now, these black containers, right? You probably have seen in my videos before, right? I tell you that anytime you make the 11.5 or the 2.5 water, you always want to store those in these dark containers because you don't want the light to get into it. And also, when you store it in a cool spot or your refrigerator to maximize the power of the 2.5 and the 11.5, you want to keep it tightly sealed, closed, and not absorbed by light and so on forth. And also, definitely, put some 2.5 and the 11.5 for skin conditioning purposes. And then the beauty water, definitely put in these. So if you have your purse or in your gym bag or whatever it may be, at least you can spray some of the skin toner on you and so on forth. But if you already have dark containers or small little bottles like this, go ahead and use that all you want. It's totally fine. And also, before I get to the accessories, I'm going to point out what tools you should have and what you should get. Now, definitely you want to have a pair of channel locks to make it easy to loosen up the aerator of the faucet, or a tight set screw and so on forth. Also, to remove one of the aerators, you can get a 4-piece, 4-in-all-1 tool aerator removal tool and so on forth. And definitely get something like one of these where it has little of the teeth that you can insert and be able to loosen the aerator to hook up your machine and so on forth. And then also if you have a doctor's lab, a science lab, or a hospital and so on forth, Chicago faucets, you definitely want to get this type of tool because that can remove the aerator off that Chicago faucet to hook up your machine. This is definitely a plus to have. If you have a science lab or a hospital, doctor's office of some sort, and it's a Chicago faucet, you definitely want to make sure you have this aerator removal for the Chicago faucet. And now we're going to get into the accessories. Now, when you first purchase your Enagic machine, this right here, this is what comes with your machine and so on forth. From all the models, this is what you get with it. But over the course of times, there have been different types of faucets developed. You got the exotic pull-out, pull-downs, small aerators, and this and that. But there are 2 private companies that were able to create something to accommodate the Enagic machines. And when Enagic discovered that, and they said to those 2 individuals that started up the companies for these accessories right here, they said, you know what? You guys can keep the profits for it and so on forth, since you created it and so on forth. Now these accessories right here, you can find these from 68tools.com or from ionfaucets.com. And so, obviously, depending on what the faucet is, you could have a pull out or a pull down or a smaller aerator and so on and forth. And also, you might have one place of residence, maybe you have two places of residence, maybe you have three places of residence. One of them, maybe one of them is seasonal, one of them is a weekend getaway. Obviously, your faucet could be different than your primary residence and so on and forth. And then also, if you travel, whether you travel little or you travel a lot, whether you're staying in a hotel, motel, a villa, or a timeshare little condo resort, or a timeshare townhome, or a penthouse villa, VIP, whatever it is you're staying in for vacation and so on and forth, there are so many different types of faucets, that are installed into these vacation places and so on and forth. And to have these accessories in case the Enagic line can't accommodate it, having this, from this will be very huge and so on and forth. And at least wherever it is you travel around the world, you're able to at least still use your Enagic machine, because you don't want to drink that bottled or the tap water. You still want to be drinking your alkalized water. And so, and when you go through me, you will be able to learn all the different types of faucets, and you are going to get hands-on training on how to remove an aerator, how to, hook up your machine to different types of faucets through my program that I talk about and I demonstrate and so on and forth. And if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me. And like I said, when you go through me, I teach you everything you need to know about. And my biggest primary is knowing and understanding how to hook your machine up in the first place and so on and forth, because I have years of experience in the plumbing field and I have seen different type of faucets. So I'm so familiar with those faucets and so on and forth. And that's why I will be able to teach you and to really get you to understand how to identify parts of a faucet and so on and forth. So that way, depending on how much traveling you're doing, you will be a pro-minded individual that knows how to deal with different type of faucets and so on and forth. And especially to teach the downline too. I mean, obviously, if you're someone that goes through within my downline, you are going to learn how to hook, learning about the different faucets and all this and that, because I have had questions asked to me, and I have seen in internet posts individuals not knowing how to hook up their faucets and this and that, and not having these accessories because their leader did not tell them, or individuals had their whole faucet replaced just to simply hook up their machine when it was not necessarily needed. And when I see stuff like that, it's a little mind-boggling, because everybody should know how to take on different types of faucets and so on and forth. But when you go through me, you're not going to have that problem. And that's what I am so huge on, is hooking it up to your faucet and so on and forth. So other than that, change your water and change your life, and I will see you at the top.